Hello, beautiful people. Like, share, and subscribe. So I was just thinking about it, and I just realized that Nigeria is an animal farm. Some people will say, "Why am I saying like this?" Have you read the book by? It's not George Orwell called Animal Farm. I think the final quote in the book, is because a long time I read the book. If I'm not mistaken, is all animals are equal, but some animals are greater than some others. Um, Coming to real life perspective and with what is happening in Nigeria, we can see this the person on the right. His name is Yaya Bello. He's a Nigerian politician who governed the state and stole 80 billion naira plus squandered almost $1 million on school fees for his children till they graduate from state coffer. This man, even at a point, uh, refused to pay salaries of people from his state and was paying them peanuts. And yet, you will see some people from that state defending him. I've seen pages, I don't know who created them, on Facebook. You see people defending this man. You even see somebody who said is a pastor. His name is Reno Mokri, one of the most shameless set of people on Nigeria, man of zero integrity. He's coming out to say that Yaya Bello is better than P2P. You can imagine that's the kind of country we find ourselves. Now, sometimes I don't even get angry with the politicians that loot. It's the people that empower them, people that support them, people that encourage them. It just shows you how the country is on a sinking sand. So I've come to a conclusion that Nigeria is and there's nothing you can tell me otherwise that will change it, except things change radically. And the corruption is not only in his own region, this is Bello. In the southeast, I can mention some governors that I can remember. In the southeast, you have Rochas. In fact, southeast has a high number of looters. We have people like Rochas. You have people like Ojus Okalo. And you see people praising these people. These people will come to occasions. You see people clapping for them. I can never do that. I'm not from the southeast. But I can never, if I see them on the occasion, I will squeeze my face. I will not stand up when people are standing. And if possible, if my spirit tells me, I will go to the podium and I will, maybe if it's in a church gathering, because even people clap for them in church, I will go to the front and say, why are we clapping for these people that destroyed our many of your future? These people are the reasons why many of you don't have jobs, no roads, and you will still be thinking it's one spiritual problem. So why is it that it's a spiritual problem? You will not have job in Nigeria, you'll be going from church to church. But when you travel abroad, let's say you go to Australia or Canada, you will not have a job immediately. Why? You have a job at least that can pay you, that can feed you. Why is it? Why is it no longer spiritual issue? So these are some of the issues. These leaders, some of them, just if I had to show you how stupid some of these Nigerian leaders are, they will be building elephant projects. Like this coastal rubbish road this man is building that has no economic importance. Then you have what do they call it? Some will be building, some governors, useless governors will be building airports. I remember when I did a video on Ebonyi governor, Umuahi, this one that is the minister of building useless airports. A state that is one of the poorest states in Nigeria. What are you building airport for? You already have airports. If people want to fly, they should travel from one state. In all countries, airports are not everywhere. You have to travel down to some places to get airports. Airports is a federal responsibility. What the government needs to do is to upgrade the 6 airports in the siege of political zones and make them international airports. People don't need to come down to Lagos and balance the what do they call it? The demography of the people working in the airport, so that it doesn't have it's not homogeneous, so that you can monitor affairs going on there instead of monopolizing everything in Lagos. Yet you keep wondering why people are rushing to Lagos. Seaports, the same thing. So these are just some of the issues. When you look at the way the country is governed, it's governed like an animal farm. When some people call Nigeria a zoo, I've never called Nigeria a zoo. I don't get angry. I start asking, why are they calling Nigeria a zoo? Things that happen in Nigeria, I can bet you they don't happen anywhere. I can tell you that Nigeria is one of the most corrupt countries. Even Uganda, that is, people, Nigerians think is better. If you go to Uganda, I have people in Uganda, you speak to them, life is still affordable. So these are just some of the issues. There's nothing you can tell me that will change my mind, except the leadership, things start working well. You go to the south, you see people like Ibori. People still worship him. Even when he was in jail, people were celebrating his birthday. It shows you how and these are educated people. You see people these days I don't respect. When you tell me you're educated in Nigeria, I just look at you. I want to see your character before I start respecting you. You go to in the southwest. I don't know much about southwest corruption, but I can say Fayose. I think he was caught in corruption scandal. So that one is there. You go to middle belt, Otom, even though Otom supported Obi, he was corrupt. They said he didn't do anything. You know, I know that they had that farmers crisis would have overwhelmed them, but they say he didn't still do anything. Then you go to the other zones, Kwankwaso. I don't know where that was, whether it's northwest or where Kwankwaso. People saw him and people still defend him till today. Kwankwaso will come to it, people will be worshipping him. It shows, that's what I'm saying. You see people like Daddy Freeze, when Hush Puppy, that's what I'm telling you, people of zero integrity. I'm sure maybe he would have gotten a wind of what Hush Puppy was doing. You see him bragging about Hush Puppy work. Yeah, they will say he's a pastor. And they will deceive you. They will make you feel like money is everything in this world. My brother, money is not everything. If you like have all the money in this world, you will still die one day. Just I'm not saying poor people say they will not still die, but money doesn't give you extra. It's just in Nigeria people worship their money so much, and that has made the country turn to an animal farm. Now let's talk about the president on the right with the cap. Everything about the man is questionable. Then they say he built Lagos because that was the campaign he used. Is Lagos half of Cape Town? It's an African city, Africa. Is it half? I always use that city because to me it's the best, one of the best. If you have not been there, just try to be there. Is it better than Cape Town? If he built it to that Cape Town standard, she will praise him. If people that have not gone to Lagos is like 80% slum. When I say 80%, even the high bro areas, you see people packing sand on the road. The gutters are open. You know, so these are just some of the issues, and that's how the whole Nigeria is. It's not only Lagos. So from north to south, it's just a slum. Nigeria should be like 90% slum. If I want to generalize, Nigeria is just 90% slum. Places that are good is just maybe 10%. And that 10% is what they will use to deceive you in the media until you come on ground. So these are just some of the things we'll talk. We want the country to go. That's why we are telling these people, do these things, you will not live forever. And people still mention the name of there's this guy in the southeast that was a regional minister thereabout that did so well. In southwest, the south, the people mention Obomedia. Obomedia died long ago. People still say the man is the best. You know, when people are praising you after you have died many years, won't God be blessing your children? Till today, they say if Obomedia children go to the government house, the governors listening to them just because of their father. Legacy, good name is better than riches. All this one, everybody want to be rich, want to buy small cars. Those cars will turn to rust. Why not make life better? When you go travel to other countries, see how life is sweet for their citizens. All this part I've given you, no electricity, 1960, no road, country, all the federal roads, zero. No, hey God, you see some people defending this thing, even people that traveled outside. That's the one that baffles me. See people defending leaders like Buhari, telling you Buhari is the best president. Hey shit, telling you Jonathan was a good president. Let me tell you, I don't support Obi, but no Nigerian leader has worked. As far as I'm concerned, none has worked 50%. The day a Nigerian leader will work 50%, you will see it. You're gonna see it. Let me see what Otis is doing. But even the roads Otis is doing, please, it should be covering the drainage. Open drainage is for primitive societies. Apart from that, I'm just still watching what he's doing because it's just his first time. Yeah, there's still a lot of. Nigeria is just like, I don't know how to describe it. It's when you travel and you see for the world for yourself that you will know that Nigeria is an animal farm. At the end of the day, it wasn't not pig that was the highest in the equation. Everybody commits crime, but the pig was free. That's what is happening in Nigeria. Corruption, reading society, and enablers.